big is it to have a week to kind of celebrate this program that the players they rave about, and then the recruits rave about it when they come in?
It's amazing. It's amazing to know that we have a head coach that says when he makes a commitment to his young men that it's a holistic approach. It's not just how great they can be as football players. And it's not a song, it's not a dog and pony show. It's not something that we just talk about, but it's something that he's given leadership. Our running backs have a running back coach, our linebackers have a linebacker coach, but he's also provided a department to develop our players as men. And when we think about what we do with football, man, my original introduction to football was all about developing a young man. And so we are men first, and it's not just something that we say.
When you look on social media and you see that your guys are in New York on an internship, or they're out at Adobe in California, what kind of personal satisfaction do you get out of that?
Those opportunities and that exposure is tremendous, because it is one thing to say that you take a holistic approach. It's another thing to show them what that holistic approach looks like. Each one of our young men can tell you the journey to the NFL, but how many of them can tell you the journey to Adobe, to Cisco, to American Express, and so forth and so on? And so anytime we give our young men that practical experience, then the reality of them having an opportunity to do that when they exit Clemson becomes real. It becomes alive. And so I can't think of anything better than saying, when you come to Clemson, education means options. Yes, I can go to the NFL, but also we're going to show you the journey to the marketplace so that you can continue to lead and compete at a high level.
Jeff, what's it been like for a player like Travis Blank's transition from the program into your office, and what's he done since he's been there in this position?
Well, first of all, anytime a former player's degree has value where he earned it, man, says everything. It is one thing for us to say, Travis, you can come here and play football. It's another thing for us to say that you can come here and lead. You can lead our future football players, our future leaders, our future young men. And so Travis is a young man that has done it, and so when he interacts with our young men, it's not just talk. His career, he didn't have that opportunity that he wanted to play in the NFL. Injuries cut that short. But Travis Blank's transition was seamless. And that's what we really want to do in PAW Journey. We don't want our competitors to miss a beat if they can no longer play football. We want them to simply take that to the boardroom, take that to the marketplace, and say, hey, we can fill a stadium, we can fill a boardroom, we can fill a company, and we can impact it in such a way that it produces much fruit.
Jeff, was there a moment when you were a young man where either somebody mentored you and kind of led you this way, or was there a certain situation that happened that caused you to start going this way?
I wasn't raised with my dad. My high school coach was the first true influence in my life. And his first influence wasn't football. His first influence to me was about being a man, having character, having integrity. And so when we talk about taking this holistic approach, football, and make no bones about it, football is a tremendous laboratory to develop leaders. But when you start talking about a holistic approach, programs like PAW Journey, men like myself, men like Rashad Hall, and individuals like Savannah Bailey are reminding our young men that education is not just about one thing that you can do, but it's about options. It's not about one dream. It's about multiple dreams. And it's about living life at a high level. And it's not about just taking, but it's about serving. And that's what I love the most about what we're doing, that when our young men, it is one thing to come to college. You know how excited a young man is when he comes to college. Man, he signs that NLI, man, he hits the campus, he has the world by the tail. What I want him to be shaking that tail when he exits.
Jeff, there's a lot of debate now about what players get out of college and naming image likeness and things like that. Do you think that something like this, I'm sure there are some other places where they're doing a good job of it as well, should be a part of that conversation in terms of what they get out of college above just a scholarship?
It's no doubt, and I don't like to talk about our athletes from a perspective of what they get. like to talk about it from a perspective of what they earn. And these guys put in the commitment, they put in the dedication, they fight adversity. They do the things that it takes in order for them to compete at a high level. And being an elite athlete at a Division I institution is quite the accomplishment for an 18-year-old. You know, and so they earn those opportunities to be exposed to something other than, you know, what football can do. They've earned the right to be exposed to that marketplace. Because at the end of the day, when Coach Sweeney talks about our young men earning a degree, he's not talking about a piece of paper that they put on the wall. He's talking about an experience that encourages our young men to embrace education as a life endeavor and continue to compete and utilize their influence in multiple and various ways.
When you guys came up with the PAW journey, what was it like to come up with the format and the guidelines to present it, and then when you presented it to Coach Sweeney and the board, whoever you had to get the approval, what was all that look like for you guys?
That's one of the things I love the most about PAW Journey is that PAW Journey has evolved. PAW Journey started off with just Jeff Davis. Everybody was always talking about it's Jeff Davis's area. But the thing that I love is that through the years, I was able to assess what I thought was important for our young men to experience while they were at Clemson. And so number one, when we talk about personal growth, we talk about who they are as men. It always starts with the man. The player stands on the man, the student stands on the man. Hey, talent will get you in the room. Character will keep you in the room. Character will elevate you. And so it starts off with that personal growth. It starts and it continues with those life skills, those skills that you can utilize for life. Being a servant leader, being engaged in your community. And then for our young men to say, you know what, yes, I can go to the NFL, but I can also have a tremendous experience in the marketplace, in another profession other than football. Oh, I think that that's the cream of the crop. And I think that that's one of the reasons that we've been very successful here, because our young men are not one-dimensional. They're able to do multiple things, and we're able to provide those opportunities and those experiences like a New York or